Hey guys,
Hey guys.
how you guys doing? We're back. Father and Son Issues number 6.
6. Hey, thank you for all the new followers. I get a lot of love from the shorts.
Shorts have a
I really appreciate
lot of
it. So
views,
thank
lot
you
of views.
guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. So today, what do we got? We got something new.
So today I decided to go with like a kind of a key issue in Batman lore, but that's relatively priced. That if you guys, collectors are just diving in, you'd get this a relatively good price. But it has a key character's first appearance,
So
it's part of a epic storyline for Batman.
So it's similar to one of our last episodes, it was the key issue on Leslie Tompkins.
Yes.
Right? We did that, and this is kind of the same thing.
Same
it's
thing.
A key issue on a certain character.
It is a key issue on a certain character. This character is not as sweet and heroic and important as Leslie Tompkins.
A villain character.
A villain. I'm talking about Batman issue 405.
405.
This is in the middle of Batman Year 1. This is part 2.
Oh, right.
Written by Frank Miller.
Yeah.
And it features the first appearance of Carmine Falcone. You see him in all the movies.
Yeah.
Batman Begins.
Yeah.
And even the new film.
Yeah.
Even in Gotham.
You see him everywhere.
He's a huge part. But this is his first appearance. Happens in this comic.
In Year 1. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So let's see here. So what year did this come out? Year 1, part 2.
1987.
87.
Was Batman Year 1. Yes.
Okay. So
it starts out kind of, it's versus Batman's first year as Batman.
Right.
And the issue starts out with a young Commissioner Gordon. His wife is pregnant with Barbara. Yeah.
Okay.
She's wearing a shirt that says "baby," with an arrow.
Yeah. We should get into one of these episodes. Get into Jim's son.
Yes.
That's interesting.
So he,
but there you go. Back to the main thing.
So he's driving to work. Of course, there's a hostage situation going on with an insane person has a kid hostage, and so Commissioner Gordon's getting there. But it's so early in the morning. He has his cup of coffee in his hand while he's driving,
like a mug,
which is crazy to me. It's 1987. Now we have all kinds of special mugs where coffee doesn't spill in the car, but he's doing trying to keep the coffee
nice.
Yeah, in the
Do you
cup.
think Commissioner Gordon? Do you think he's a black coffee guy, or think he had some?
I think he's a straight
black. I think so too.
I think so too.
I think so.
What's your pick?
Yeah, what's your pick?
Commissioner Gordon. How does he take his coffee?
Yeah.
Now the cup says "World's Greatest Dad." Granted, Barbara has not been born yet, but he does something in this issue where he completely loses that. For me, I would be like,
not greatest
what
dad.
What are you doing, bro?
By far.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
But I'll get to that in a minute. Okay. All right. So he gets to the hostage negotiation. He has to negotiate with the hostage. It works out. But of course, Batman is hitting the city. He's hitting the city at these certain parts in the evening. And right now, he's really not, there's really no big villains. He's not going after Penguins, Jokers,
Scarecrow, anything
like that.
Year 1.
He's going after like guys stealing TVs and apartment street thugs. He's, he's hanging around Crime Alley, which we talked about.
Stuff.
He's doing that.
Yeah.
So, but he's getting the attention of everyone. Now, one thing I really do love about this issue is they show Jim Gordon at the gun range.
Oh, nice.
And he's like an epic shot, right?
What is he
bullseye in the head?
Right, of course.
He's Jim Gordon, right?
But so 80. I don't know what a cop's gonna be in the 80s. Is it a Beretta, a revolver?
It's a revolver.
It's a revolver.
So I would say a 38.
38 special, probably.
Snub nose, maybe.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, whatever you think Jim Gordon carries.
I probably have.
Definitely is a revolver.
That's something we should get next. We should get a Jim Gordon gun. We should find out what gun he uses and get like a good replica version of it, put it in the case.
Yeah, I'll see. I'll see what he carries in the movies. I'll search that.
I'm interested.
But see, so after this is where like he had that mug I was talking about, right?
Right.
World's Greatest Dad. But what's funny to me, so he gets home. Of course, he's all like, it's the typical Jim Gordon kind of life.
Right.
He's working late hours.
Right.
He gets home. His wife's in bed, pregnant. So he's sitting at the edge of the bed because he's, got a lot going on. Batman
has to unwind.
Yeah. And what does he do while he's sitting at the end of the bed? He's smoking.
Right next to his
pregnant wife. I'm like, come on.
Inside
Jim.
the house.
Come on, Jim. You can go outside. Wow. You live in an apartment. Maybe you have like a kind of little balcony out there you could go to.
Wow. Jim. Inside.
Rethink that mug, Jim.
Rethink that mug.
That mug.
Figure it out. All
right. So what's cool about this, you see Batman kind of going through his first kind of outings as Batman.
Right.
So he's trying to stop these guys from stealing like a TV, and he's on this kind of apartment scaling on the outside, like a fire escape.
Fire escape.
He's on this fire escape, and he's fighting, and like he actually kicks one too hard, and it kind of goes over, and he goes, "I don't want this dude to die." So like Batman,
He has to
like,
reach over and grab him.
grab his ankle, right? While he's grabbing his ankle, like the other guys are like kicking him and
Who
beating
cares?
him, and
Right.
like they don't know what he's doing,
They
but
see
he's
him
trying
on
to
a
save his friend.
weakness. Yeah.
It's just really interesting to see him like kind of like, oh, he's making these mistakes, and he's like, I can't do this, I'm trying to get that.
Mhm.
It's really kind of cool. It's Batman Year One. If you haven't read it, so first of all, it's a must read. Right?
Yeah.
It's a must read in Batman
classic.
law. Right? It's I think a lot of it is still continuity. So read Batman Year One to begin with.
Robert Pattinson movie is what, year 2 of being Batman.
Yeah, it's kind of has the similarity. It's more towards like kind of Dark Victory, Long Good Night elements.
Yeah, okay.
The Batman movie, the latest one, but it definitely all those influences start here.
Yeah,
with
so
Batman Year
it's
One.
basically Batman with the same skill as Green Arrow. So
I think he would get mad at that.
I just dogged on Green Arrow pretty bad.
Yeah.
I just dogged on him.
No contingency plan for Green Arrow.
No, just straight fists, bro. Straight fists. You're gonna get these hands for Green Arrow.
So after this in the issue, like they're meeting about the Batman, meeting about other things.
Who's meeting? Like
the officers, the police officers.
Oh,
Jim
like,
Gordon's having this meeting with the
because he's
the
not
police
commissioner
force.
yet.
He's not
He's
commissioner.
detective, right?
Yeah.
So he's meeting with the commissioner.
And the commissioner calls him. He's like, "We gotta do something about this Batman."
Vigilantes.
Yeah, Loeb and Commissioner Loeb, and then that's when you meet Carmine Falcone. Now
he's in the meeting with the commissioner.
Yeah, they're at a dinner together.
Oh,
Which is already kind of sus, right? Now, I don't know if Frank Miller did this, but I've read some interviews with Jeff Loeb on The Long Good Night, and it seems like he's based off, or after he was created, they kind of based him off Don Corleone, which is from The Godfather. Which is the Marlon Brando character.
Makes sense.
Which makes sense now if you think of all his kids. Mario, it's kind of based after Michael Corleone.
Mhm.
Sophia is kind of, her temper and her anger is kind of based off of Sonny.
Got you.
So all the kids, and then we'll get to the other one who's who's a key part of A Long Halloween. But so after you meet him, you meet him, he talks to the commissioner, so we're gonna have to do something about this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You see him next, Carmine's tied up, hogtied, naked by the Batman in bed, like he's hogtied. His arms around his back, his ankles are hogtied.
Why not?
And he's pretty upset. So this starts his hatred
towards Batman.
Now I think it's in The Long Halloween, or is it and Dark Victory, where they go through the backstory of his father, who was a mafia boss as well.
The Falcone Senior.
Yes, was getting shot, and he got taken to Wayne Manor, where Thomas Wayne, he was like, fix him, and he did. So ever since that, Carmine is like, whatever the Waynes want.
It's been real nice to Bruce, and it was real nice to Bruce when he lost his parents.
Right. Yeah. So there's history there. It's kind of been cool how they incorporated that. He's not just just some random mafia boss. There is some deep ties with the Waynes.
So it's some of my favorite Batman stories are when you find out these deep ties from the Wayne family. The people, like, for example, I love the whole connection with Martha Wayne and Arkham Asylum. Like, I love that stuff. I love that she was from the Arkham family. I love that storyline. I love that whole. Her maiden name was Arkham, and he finds out all these things about Amadeus Arkham. I love that stuff. I love when his parents get involved in backstories of other villains and other things. It's great.
That's the cool thing about the rebooting of continuities. I mean, like the New 51 and the Rebirth and all that stuff.
Right.
We get new writers adding new elements to the stories to make it more complicated, intricate. All these little key things, all these little pieces. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, and you start to put it together.
Well, and it really makes these conspiracies and like things like the Court of Owls even seem more interesting and more believable.
Yeah.
There is
one
really
of my favorite Batman moments is when he punches Nightwing in the face in the Court of Owls. That's one of my favorite.
Yeah, it's a great moment.
You know why he punches
it's a great moment.
I'm not even gonna spoil it.
No,
I'm not gonna spoil it. Look it up.
Well, yeah, we're gonna do something great. No, but yeah, I love it when they tie in the original family, his parents, into the dark side of being rich, the dark side of being the 1%ers. I dig it.
The story kind of ends where Batman's trying to save an older woman, like a homeless woman pushing like a shopping cart. Okay. And it has this really great panel where Batman's kind of running, like frantic running. You know, because it's just like Batman Year One, like the confidence in Batman's not there,
Right.
right? And he has this frantic panel where he's running, and he gets shot in the leg.
Oh wow!
So maybe the suit's not up to par. That's not happening. He gets shot right in the leg, and it's just interesting to see that.
Well,
one of my favorite things about this kind of stuff when they focus on Batman is like see how he became the Dark Knight.
Right.
So he's not exactly the Dark Knight yet,
not yet.
But he's getting there. And it's moments like this to see, that growth is really kind of cool.
So, so I circle back for a second. Why did he tie up Falcone? Do we know yet? Do we not know? Did he question?
Well, there's corruption, right? There's corruption in the Falcone.
Oh, of course.
So he's gonna he's kind of after he's dealing with this kind of crime, he's dipping his toes into bigger water, right? Like
he's trying to find out.
He's getting the stuff. Well, one thing that he does say, like I'm glad you said that. He says like when Batman comes, it's one of these key moments. We see the big Batman and the cloaks hanging over him. He tells them, "You all have eaten well." Off, meaning off Gotham.
Right. Yeah,
so
he's
having his first real like big
Batman
moment.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's a real cool part. And again, so this issue is really cool, and you can have it relatively cheap. So if you don't have
easy to find.
It's easy to find. So I have it, but I looked it up. Usually when I do these episodes, I kind of look them up online and see what they're going for. Which some, like what are my favorite issues? What stands out for me? This one, key issue. You need to have it,
especially for the Falcones. Yeah,
especially for the Falcones.
We'll see. I bet. Is there a Penguin season 2 in the works? Are we aware of that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Penguin 2 is happening. Yeah. Because it was so good. It was so acclaimed. That's like the thing. When something is great and it's well received, it's going to keep going.
Right. That's
right.
True.
They're going to take their wins when
That's true. That's true. Yeah, this is a great issue to pick at. Episode 6 on the Falcone family.
So when we go through, we talked about how they're based after the kind of like the Corleones,
right?
From the Godfather. Movies. We had Alberto, which is basically the Fredo of the Falcone family.
Okay.
Because he wants the respect.
Yeah.
And he becomes the killer.
Yeah.
Now, one of the cool things about the Falcone family, how they kind of, during all these reboots and continuities that I was talking about, the Falcones are responsible for what major Batman villain?
I mean, are they responsible? I mean, it depends on what we're talking about. Are you talking about like responsible for Catwoman? Or?
Well, technically, so he thinks Catwoman, in one of the stories, Catwoman, he may be her biological father.
Who knows?
That's one thing.
Right.
But there's somebody else.
Hush?
No. He pays another big crime family, the Maronis, to take out one Harvey Dent.
Oh, right.
So the acid get thrown. Right. They get thrown on Dent. It's because of the Falcones.
Right. But Two-Face never goes after the Falcones, right? He just goes after the.
He goes crazy. So he goes after everybody. But yes, eventually they have their instance. But because of the Falcone family, we get Two-Face. So to say, I mean, they're a huge part for me of the Batman.
Especially in the building stones of Batman, for sure. Like, I think once he fought, the mob bosses, he was able to move on to your more crazy, Scarecrow-esque Mr. Freeze characters. Yeah, no.
And Sophia was so great. I'm glad you brought up the Penguin series. Like that actress was so great.
Oh, she's
playing
amazing.
Sophia. I really hope she's in Batman 2.
Yeah, I don't remember.
And there's some Selena Kyle
name was
partnership.
But yeah, the only thing I think I saw her previously was there's this movie called Palm Springs with I don't remember her name, but it's her and Andy Samberg. Great movie. Also, she was in How I Met Your Mother. But yeah, no, I had no idea she had those chops. That was amazing.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
She played a great.
No, she did really good. Really good.
So, and we're playing like both sides, right? You feel sympathetic to her,
right? Yeah.
And then you're like,
yeah, and then she's crazy.
And then the Penguin twist. You felt sympathetic for the Penguin. Then he's like, "Oh no,
yeah.
I hate it."
I think it's only been out for a couple months, so we won't spoil that just yet. We'll let that go later. Yeah.
So right now in this current continuity, I know like once we got through all that, the Batman and Batman, the Penguin and the Falcones go at it.
Right.
So like it happens. So it's kind of cool to see some of the comics trickle down into the movies and become a big part of it, because that's what we always complain about, right? Like it's not like the comics. It's not like the comic. Well, this one does a pretty faithful kind of adaptation. True. From the source material.
But can it ever be like the comic? It's a different. It's a
different medium. It's a different medium. And even so, that's what they're like. Comic books are comics, and movies are movies.
Yeah.
So
because and Snyder tried really hard. He even made he made it that, what is that called, widescreen or whatever it was with the borders. like you're reading a comic book. You know,
Yeah.
there's so many minute things to go to make it feel like a comic book, but you know, it maybe you never quite get there.
Yeah, and Ang Lee did that with his Hulk.
Yeah.
Like,
yes. Exactly the same thing. You know, it's a different argument to have of if we should be striving to make it you know, make it the comic book, or if we just make it something else and something better. And like, why can't we just, you know, thrive for a better source of material of our beloved characters? I don't know.
So, I mean, there's a lot of great people that have played Carmine Falcone in the DC multi-universes. Tom Wilkinson,
Yes.
John Turturro,
Yes.
and my favorite, Mark Strong.
It's your favorite?
Yeah, he is. I'm a big Mark Strong fan.
Yeah.
Great as Sinestro. Fantastic as Sinestro.
He really is.
I really hope he comes back. As he's not, but as
Yeah,
Sinestro.
yeah.
He was just a really great. I'm looking forward to Lantern, so I already know they have a Sinestro cast. But I just really thought he was great.
They cast Sinestro?
I'm pretty sure they did.
Do we know who it is?
I do, but I don't off the top of my head.
Okay, gotcha. We'll drop the name down. Okay. Cool, man. That's really cool. This is a great issue to go. This is a good episode for episode 6. Before we get out of here, do you want to give them a tease for episode 7?
Episode 7, I thought since Hush 2 came out, I will go over the things I liked about Hush 1. I have Hush 1 readily available. And, you know, maybe I might do a giveaway. I have some of these.
No way.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, like somebody doesn't have
Who can
this.
we give them away to? I don't know. I don't know who we could give them away to. Who would be, I don't know, stuff top of my head.
There's some, you know, I know Hush gets a lot of hate.
Yeah,
but there's some really cool stuff I like about the Hush storyline.
Yeah.
There's some stuff I think that's like, you know, like I'm kind of okay with, but like I think it was great. It was great for Batman. It was great for Batman.
Oh, I think it's a good Batman Bruce story. I think it's heavy on the Bruce side.
Yeah, it's a great intro to Batman because you get all the characters, you get all the stuff.
Yeah,
but you get the Joker, you get Catwoman, you get Poison Ivy, you get Jason Todd, you get Batman, you get Alfred. I mean, it's all there.
I do think though that with Hush specifically, and with Hush 1, there was a lot. Like if someone tried to ever adapt it and make it a movie, I mean, if Hush could be a movie, that'd be insane. But that's a lot to do.
It's a lot of material.
Yeah, it'd be very difficult. Do it anyways. Yeah, James Gunn, please do it on the mountain of everything else you're doing. Jeez, yeah, man. But no, this is a great issue to pick for Hush, for the Falcone family. But do we know what James Gunn's doing with Batman yet?
Not yet. Keep your ears out.
Yeah.
And if there's anything you want me to go over in episode 7, let me know.
Yeah.
I really love reading your comments. Hopefully I have it, but I'll go through it if I do.
He has it. Whatever issue you want us to cover, please comment down below. I promise you he has it. There's a mountain of stuff behind me. I guarantee it. Guarantee you guys. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you did like it. Please like and share if you did. It's good seeing you. We'll see you in episode 7. Thank you so much, guys. You have a good night.
Talk to you next time.
See ya.